Relive every hilarious Office moment on Blu-ray.
You're okay.
Plus, watch the latest episodes after they air on your TV with your internet-connected Blu-ray player.
I like it.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
That was not scripted.
The Office Season 7. Own it September 6th.
Family time is we time at our house.
Look for it.
Oh, yeah! It looks like you're doing the dishes again. Man, that feels good.
We play each other to decide who's doing the chores.
Guess who's making dinner tonight? Boom! Woo!
Not me. There's so many games, everyone's got something they're best at.
Last place.
At the end of the day, everyone's a winner. Especially me.
This holiday, get a red Wii system plus 2 games for just $199.99.
Here's my new Windows Phone. See these live tiles? They update all the time. This one's got everyone I know in one place. So without fumbling through a bunch of apps, I can see what they're up to. Quickly post that I care, and my phone's back in my pocket. So I can actually watch my son's game. Go, buddy! And not be... that guy.
Buy any Windows Phone and get a second one free. So get your holiday on at AT&T.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
I will not say Merry Christmas.
It's called Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Christmas.
Have a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
And a happy whatever you believe in to you.
Happy holidays is what terrorists say. Merry Christmas, Avery and Jack.
From them to him. The name's Bond. Santa Bond. It's time for Christmas comedy on NBC Thursday.
If I can find the meaning of Christmas, everything will go back to normal.
But something's different about Community.
We beg to differ.
Then we celebrate good news on 30 Rock.
You're going to be a grandmother.
Well, some of us celebrate.
This is a disgrace.
Take a happy moment and ruin it, just like you did when I won that scholarship at my high school graduation.
It should have gone to the other boy.
And it's a special 1-hour office Christmas with the return of...
Ollie's back.
Well.
Seems like old times.
Okay.
New Christmas comedy, Thursday on NBC.
Merry Christmas.
Sitcom, all ye faithful, a Christmas podcast special, where for the 4th time I discuss 25 Christmas sitcom episodes. Please come and listen as we count down to Christmas. You should see Punky Brewster, the Partridges and Benson. Michael J. Fox will return, and for one more year the Fonz will definitely have one last episode with the Fonz.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy December 17th. Happy day 17 of Sitcom, are ye faithful. Guess what, everybody? It's Office Day. Yes, as much as I try to watch a different show, a different sitcom every day, one that I haven't repeated every year, there are a few that get repeated. Every year I end with the same show. Every year with my friend Jay, for the last couple of years, we've been doing King of the Hill, which actually ties into today's episode. And every day, I think since year one, maybe I might have done the first year by myself, but ever since he realized I was doing The Office, my good pal Chris has been showing up. He's been on Geek Mentality so many times. The original Marty McFly, the original Joggist. He is my co-host on Fine Movies, Fine Spirits, where he drives the ship. Christopher Morris, my friend, joining again this evening for another Christmas episode of The Office. Welcome back, Chris.
Thank you, Michael. I have no feeling in my fingers or my penis, but it was
Perfect.
worth it. Um, I love, and I'm honored to be associated and able to do The Office every year.
It is
One of
it
the
is
OGs,
yours.
one of the best.
You have claimed it. It is yours. And
I will take it
there are still
until the last
there are
Christmas
still a few
episodes.
more. There are a few more Office. Yes, there are. And then you'll maybe find another show. I know there's a show that I did just yesterday that I got scolded for forgetting to ask you, and B, for just being factually incorrect with some of my thoughts.
Yeah. I actually played it for Grace.
Oh God.
I forgot to tell you.
Oh no.
And she was not pleased.
Well,
at King of Queens, we're talking, and was it Mental? What did you call it? Mentallo?
I kept calling him Mentallo because I probably like Metallo.
And she, of course, had the same reaction as I did. Didn't he watch it?
It was a long day yesterday. I'll put it that way.
And I said, yeah. And he may have called Holly Arthur's nurse. Or
okay. To be honest, I don't know.
I know.
I watched a lot of the Holly years, but when you said it, I was like, that's right. They hired her as a dog walker to walk Arthur. But for the most part, I don't I took notes today because I want to talk about the show with you. For the most part, I hit record and go. I had a comment on YouTube that was like, you don't know where Tim Taylor's grunt came from? I was like,
you had a comment on YouTube? Don't bury the lead.
About a Home Improvement.
No, I mean the fact that you had a comment.
I know it was. Well, I got another one the other day that someone said.
Was it about Gordon Jump?
No, it was about like nobody cares because they were looking for an actual episode of Evening Shade. Like, get the hint. So I started arguing back. I'm like, what am I doing? I just deleted it.
Yeah, ignore those people. Ignore those. My God. I mean, seriously, nobody. Yeah, no, I did listen to yesterday's. I have to be honest. I haven't heard many this year, just because they're not really my cup of tea. The shows like what's her name? What's the kid show? Well, most of your shows are,
Punky Brewster,
children oriented. Yes, I've never seen that show.
I haven't got that theme song out of my head. Written by the same guy who wrote the Cheers theme song, so it is a catchy little ditty.
Yeah, no, I there's only one thing two things I think of when I think of Punky Brewster.
I was 8 years old when that show came. Oh
yeah, no, of course not. And I was, my family had never seen it, and then I did listen to your Hogan's Heroes. No, McHale's Navy. Yeah, I'm mixing up, WW2 sitcoms.
Right. That one I haven't done yet.
I need to listen to. I haven't watched King of the Hill. You said your buddy Jay.
Yeah, he and well, that's the tie-in. So Jay's been introducing me to King of the Hill, a show that I've known about for years, and I've watched 3 episodes now, the last 3 Christmas episodes, and every year I say I got to go back, and he's like, "It'd be cool if you did, but it's also cool that you don't." Every episode is just Christmas.
It's like a thing. Yeah, that's.
But Toby from The Office,
it's Mike Judge. So
Toby, he wrote that episode of the King of the Hill. He was a writer on King of the Hill.
Oh, really? Yeah, I know he wrote some King of
Paul
King
Lieberstein.
He wrote some Office.
Yeah, he wrote the last 2 Christmas episodes. I think were written by him, and they go places. They're kind of weird, kind of dark, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I should check it out just because it's Mike Judge. He's pretty unique. He's got good stuff. But the Office, I think we had done. I think this is my 4th, maybe.
I think it's either your 4th.
So this is probably my 4th favorite, or 3rd or 4th.
I think we're going in order. I don't know if we jumped around. No,
because we did last year. We did Dwight.
That's right. Christmas, that one comes later,
which was one of the last 2 seasons. This is the last Michael Christmas, I guess.
You can kind of see,
because this is the last season of Michael,
him
right?
And Holly.
Which, and it's funny because he's so, he was so funny, obviously, throughout the show, especially earlier. He's more of a jerk, more inappropriate, but now, I mean, he's still hilarious with his inappropriate. He did the very flamboyant.
And then the Mexican voice,
and then he did the Mexican, seemingly Mexican, and they pan in on Oscar. That was great. But he's like, it's funny because he's matured as a character,
Right.
and they all like respect him, which is it's funny
defended
how
him,
they
right?
it's funny how they react to that's a great running bit with the way Erin hates
Oh my
Holly,
God.
and she's like, I don't see it.
I
I
don't
just
get it.
don't see it.
I'm sorry, I'm waiting
But
for Michael's pretty friend to show up. Oh, you're Holly.
yes, and then she's so mean to AJ. I don't know if if you go over the plot, but
Oh yeah, I
when
was
AJ shows up. Yep.
gonna jump in there. But first, before we get to it, yes, we're officially talking about Classy Christmas parts 1 and 2. That's season 7, episode 11 and 12, which aired December 9th, 2010. And what I've been doing is going back and looking at the TV listings for what was on that night. I didn't do it. Maybe I didn't do it for the McHale's Navy episode, but for the last 10 or so, I've been going. There's a website called TV Tango, and I put a link to it in the show notes. So I wonder if Chris was watching any of these. I'm going to say no. On Fox that evening, there was a new episode of Bones, followed by an episode of Fringe. I loved Fringe. I will defend Fringe. I will never say a bad word about Fringe. I'm going to guess no.
I haven't seen either of those. I did know what Fringe was. I know, I heard of Bones.
Yes, Bones was around forever, based on like a real person, I think, or a books, maybe, I don't know, one or the other. On the CW that night, a brand new episode of The Vampire Diaries, followed by Nikita. I didn't watch either of those because they weren't superheroes.
They were vampires, though.
They were vampires, though.
Could have gone either way.
On CBS, we had brand new episodes of The Big Bang Theory, followed by Shit My Dad Says. Do you remember that show? It was a Twitter account.
Who was on it?
Shatner.
Oh yeah. Oh right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen The Big Bang Theory. Never.
I am embarrassed to say I've seen every episode, but never actually on CBS. I think I downloaded.
Have you done Christmas? Have there been?
Oh yeah, I
did.
I did one of
Christmas?
those.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good one actually. It has its moments. It has moments, but to me, I still find it overrated. I feel it gets too much love, but it's not a terrible show.
It's no Young Sheldon, though.
No. I did watch an episode of Young Sheldon with my niece and nephew. They like went through it all on Peacock or something, and I was like,
"Oh, really? They were fans."
I was like, "We're joking about this, but this is probably better than Big Bang Theory because it was a it wasn't a laugh track show. It was like more like a single camera. How do they call it? Single camera, I think. Comedy. So anyway, after Shit My Dad Says, a brand new episode of CSI, followed by The Mentalist. 2 shows.
Not to be confused with Mental.
No, exactly. Oh my God, that again. On ABC, there was a repeat, 2 repeats, 2 Christmas specials, Shrek the Halls, followed by a show, a special that I've heard good things about. I listened to there's a Christmas podcast called The Advent Calendar House. They just do all kinds of Christmas specials. Prep and Landing. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I love, but my kids love those movies.
Okay, I thought maybe you'd know that one. So Prep and Landing was on.
The first couple were very well done, pretty entertaining.
That was followed by a Barbara Walters special. The episode's titled Oprah, The Next Chapter. So she must have just been leaving her show. Followed by Barbara Walters presents the 10 most fascinating people. And they have them listed here. This is 2010, the 10 most fascinating people. Sandra Bullock, LeBron James, Jennifer Lopez, Kate Middleton, Sarah Palin, David Petraeus. Is that the Blade Running guy with the legs?
That's Daniel Pess.
Oh, that's Daniel Pess. David Petraeus. I feel Betty White, Tiger Woods, Mark Zuckerberg, and David Petraeus. Oh, he's a retired U.S. general and public official. Oh, he was General David. Oh, he was a general.
That dude. Yep.
And number 10, the entire cast of the Jersey Shore. That's who were the 10 most fascinating people.
That was 2010.
But we're focused on NBC. NBC that night. On NBC, there were all new episodes of Community, which a Christmas episode that I
haven't seen.
I did. I love that show. A new episode of 30 Rock, followed by tonight's 2 episodes of The Office, and then at 10 p.m., a brand new episode of The Apprentice. Whatever happened to that guy?
Wow. Did that have a Christmas
It did. No, it's called Welcome to the Club. I don't know who was on that episode that night. I don't know if they have a listing. It doesn't say.
I used to watch that. That was wild.
Oh, yeah.
It would be wild to watch it now, of course.
Do you remember when he got elected, and then Arnold took over, or he was running or something. Arnold took over for a final season of The Apprentice. The
Oh
Celebrity
no,
Apprentice.
I must have been
Yeah,
gone.
it was not good. I never. Tammy got into the Celebrity Apprentice, so I ended up watching some of the Arnold season with her.
I did see some of it. With what's his name, Pierce Morgan. Was he on the Celebrity one?
He might have been on one. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how he got close with him or whatever. But yes, the great. So 2010. Wow, it's
2010.
crazy that it's that long ago.
And it's almost 14 years ago. And this episode, like, it's funny when I see these shows that I think of as more modern, but I'm like, oh man, they're not even HD yet. You forget, like 2002, 2003 shows weren't still weren't doing it. I don't even know what the first season of The Office was.
Well, especially like we binged Always Sunny, and which I was disappointed to find that you had done that a few years ago, because I hadn't even seen it somehow when I when I binge watched with the kids, which I had seen a lot.
I believe I started.
Episodes, but
I think the first season I saw live was either 5 or 6. I mean, I got in really early on DVD. I would get the DVDs from Netflix. That's how I got them.
So great.
They look like they were shot on camcorders early on.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious, but it was rough. So it's funny because the kids and I, I'm in full Christmas mode, obviously.
Yep.
Actually November 1st is when I start. And I didn't go full Christmas movies and everything up until a little before Thanksgiving, but it's fun to what Christmas movie we watching, or let's just watch a few Christmas episodes of our favorite shows.
Yep.
Which is great. So we watched one night. Let's just watch all the Offices.
See, that's awesome.
And yeah, so we watched the old ones and this one, Classy Christmas. It's great.
It is great.
It's got the Christmas. Still had his fastball, I would say.
Oh yes. I was
still great writing.
Like wondering. I forget how I was like, was 7 good? It's like when Michael's there, I don't know. It never dips. It can't because he's there.
Exactly. And I love how like one of the funniest running bits is his hatred for Toby.
Oh yeah, and that comes through.
So we get some of that at the beginning because he has to announce.
Yes. Oh, he's leaving. Announce. Yeah. So the episode starts with them.
Yep.
We get some quick things of them doing the staff picture. That's the photo that is in the for this episode that I use. We learn that Pam shut down the party planning committee because it was like a clique almost, and at best all they did was plan parties. So she has a fairly low-key party planned. Michael shows up as Santa, but he's like, he doesn't even need to help anybody. He's like, my kids are growing up. We find out that Saber is giving out gifts, and it sounded when Kelly said, oh, you finally have something to do. They must just have nothing for her to do. So she finally gets to give out Christmas gifts. Hello Kitty laptop sleeves instead of blankets that Gabe found would be much more reasonable.
Yeah, he and Erin. Yes, we're still dating. Why does everybody ask that?
We learned that Daryl's going to be having his daughter for Christmas, and Jim is excited because he sees that it's snowing, but Dwight says it's just a dusting.
That's great.
Now, Jim goes outside.
Big mistake, Jim.
Gets the snowball, throws it at Dwight, and I wrote down everything that happens after that he deserves.
Yeah. Yes. He it was a nice ball, or even he even could have just apologized.
Yeah.
Dwight told him to apologize, and he refused to, and he is traumatized the rest of the.
He accepts the snowball fight.
Yeah.
And even though Andy wants in, he's like, shut up, get your own thing.
Yeah.
We find out that Angela might be talking, bringing her senator boyfriend.
State senator.
Oh, state senator.
Yeah,
yes.
That's a great bit.
I like that. Kevin says, I don't even, who knows what a comptroller even does. And is he the comptroller? Or one of them is like one of them? Or is comptroller just?
Oh, I don't know. I missed. I thought Oscar just said I do know.
Or
maybe
maybe
he said something like that.
I think he was like, you should know. You're an accountant, right?
Yeah, Kevin with a few great lines in this.
Oh yes,
Kevin was
yes. Pam has this little pre-party meeting, and that's when Toby makes his announcement.
Yep.
Where he is he's going to be out for a little while for jury duty. And what did Michael's reaction to that?
Michael's reaction is he said, "Oh, let me guess. It's the case of the horrible redheaded sad sack. The verdict, it was Toby, and the sentence, it was death."
Death to Toby.
Death to Toby. And he's like, "That's hurtful." And he's like, "Well, you have pauses between the way you talk." I love the look on Michael's face. Yeah, the look on it is hilarious. And then of course he tells him,
"Oh yeah,
Holly's coming."
Yes, he says Holly's coming, but first he mentions he can't really say what he's working on the case, but he really wants.
He loves being the center. Yeah.
Oh yes, he starts
grabbing his neck,
and they realize it's the Scranton Strangler. He's like, I can't confirm or deny, but I'm going to be up to my neck in jury duty. But yes, that's when he says that Holly's going to be filling in, and this is what Creed has his best line of the whole episode.
She's one sassy black lady.
No one corrects him. Nothing. He's like, oh yeah, like he remembers her. She's one sassy black lady. Michael freaks out, cancels the party, says he'll pay for a new
This is why it's a classy Christmas party. Right. He's throwing away those cookies.
Like none of that. He needs it to be
Michael gives
a great party. And who does he?
Yeah, Michael is all excited. The Scranton Strangler. He just took one more person's breath away.
Awesome. Like that was such a great
Thank
line.
you, Scranton Strangler. Yeah.
That's when we see Michael dressed
in
up
love. Michael.
Oh, in love. Michael's the best. He dressed up as classy Santa, Santa Bond.
Santa Bond.
Which I feel like 2010. It's already Daniel Craig, but he's saying Brosnan. That's his Bond.
Oh yeah, Michael. Yeah.
We find out that for gifts this year, Pam made Jim a comic book.
Yep.
Jimmy Halpert gets bitten by a radioactive bear. There's kind of a running joke where she's not sure if the gift is good enough or not.
Yeah, because everybody shits on it.
Everyone shits. Yeah.
Phyllis is
Ryan. Phyllis is like, is it I don't think we can help you with money. Is it a money thing? She's like, no.
Yes.
He's like, are you good with homemade? She says, well, yeah, look at this. She's like, oh. And Ryan gives actual critiques like, well, it's not talking about the narrative and the payoff and all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
Michael is not happy about the fake tree. He says someone from New Hampshire looks at this, thinks it's a burning cross, which
yes,
I was like, whoa, that is.
I almost opened with that.
That was such a great line. We find out that he hired a jazz bassist.
Yeah,
because you can afford a jazz bassist.
That's how you classy. That's how you get it classy with boring jazz. Is what
boring
he said.
Jazz. And then he's listening to the bass. You can see him like, I don't know about this. Pam and Andy get Daryl to use his pickup to go get this tree, but Daryl is upset because it looks like his daughter doesn't want to spend Christmas with him. Toby shows up from jury duty, and he knows that people are only talking to him. What? Oh, Michael is so upset. Yeah. And he's like, he doesn't want him to get kicked off of jury duty because then he has to come back and Holly would have to leave. But he's like, I know people are just talking to me because of the trial, but maybe someday they realize they're just talking to me and I have something
Toby's
to say.
A zero. Yeah.
Oh
Toby,
my God, it's so
I
sad.
think we all feel that way about Toby. Well, maybe not as strong as Michael.
But it's almost like, well, I guess Michael's right. When you really think about it, they don't help by making Toby this normal guy who Michael is just inconceivably upset with. They do make him a sad sack.
Yes, he is. Yep.
Jim goes outside, looks for Dwight, doesn't see anybody, and then he turns around. The doors are chained shut. I don't know how they got chained shut so quick. And out of the snowman.
Yep.
Dwight jumps out of the snowman, bombards Jim
blood
with snowball, gives him a bloody nose. And I wrote again, I am on Dwight's side in this.
Team Dwight. And so is everyone in the office. Do you see their reaction?
Later,
they're laughing when he's back in, and Jim is bleeding, and he's describing the traumatic incident. Yeah. And he just kept throwing.
All the years that he's done stuff, and he threw the snowball first. It's like, sorry, Jim, this is your comeuppance.
This is true.
At the tree lot, that's when Pam suggests that if I couldn't be with Cece for Christmas, that'd be awful. So he suggests Daryl brings his daughter to the office, and Andy says, I don't have any kids, but if my grandma died, I'd kill myself.
Great line from Andy. This is in between Andy being terrible later, and he was a great character. Right away, he was like a kind of a little bit of a psycho.
Yeah, at first he
was a
didn't
riot.
like him. I remember he punched the hole
right
in the
away.
wall.
Yes, he had to go to anger management. But
and then,
then
he went to The Hangover, and he became like kind of a bigger star.
He is funny. He's great.
Yeah, he's great.
He's great in it.
But was he? You didn't like him late, or you didn't like him when he was the boss?
No, his character was terrible. His character at the very end was terrible. It was just the last couple of seasons. There, you could tell. You could tell they still had some strong writing.
Yep.
Where you would see certain episodes, but like Nellie and just a terrible character.
Is Nellie the British lady?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I think I complained about her another time.
I'm sure.
But so back to Jim.
Transcripts.
I don't know if you went over this yet, but it cracked me up when Jim tried to use the lacrosse.
Oh yes, yep. That wait, did I write that down? Oh, that's after the oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
That
after the
might
tree.
come a little later, yeah. So
Yep.
Holly shows up, and that's when Erin says, I'm waiting for my boss's pretty friend. And I just wrote her reactions to Holly the entire time are hilarious. Like, wait, maybe she's like a really good cook.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
I don't. And then later she's like, maybe you're not in the position to shoo people away.
Yeah, she says that right to her face. That was funny.
Holly and Michael, when they see each other, you could see them just kind of joking, and they're really made for each other. They're so
and everybody
silly
else is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
like
I love when she says, like, Kevin's like, did you bring us anything from New Hampshire?
Yeah.
She said, I brought some maple candy, but I ate some of it. The look on Kevin's face. And then Erin's reaction.
Awesome.
She's
and then Erin's like, do you want me to throw it?
Throw it away or put out 6 pieces for the entire office.
Yes. It's a great line. Great line.
So
I
great.
love that stuff.
She's talking to Michael, and she sets up her desk with the Woody doll that her boyfriend, AJ, Rob Hubel, really funny guy. He's a guy that, if you don't know his name, you feel like you'd see him, and he's been in a bunch of different things.
Yeah. He does look familiar. But Michael, she gives Michael the news. What was he doing in your bed?
Yeah. Well, didn't he say he said like when he never saw the Toy Story movies. He's like, oh, what he said some bastard or something like that.
Well, what a douchebag.
Yeah, that's what it is. And he finds out that they are living together. He does not.
Yeah. He gets choked up. You can see.
Yeah, he does. He's someone that I used to work with years ago said, I know who the finest actor in America is. It's Steve Carell. And that was after finally watching The Office. I was like, you're kind of right.
You know what? I mean, they say this about like comedic actors anyways. You know, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
In certain things after his funny movies, you saw like the guy can really act. But Steve Carell, I had never seen that movie. He got nominated. He probably has been nominated a few times with the wrestling movie. But yeah, he's a great actor, and he in The Office even.
I never saw that.
Yes.
Yeah,
I had never seen it either. It doesn't look great. But his acting in The Office is great. Besides him being one of the funniest characters of all time, the later, obviously the later stuff when he's leaving is is great. But yeah, he definitely just gets choked up when he hears that. It's like a gut punch to him.
And the episode ends with we talked about it already. Ryan giving like harsh critique to Pam's.
Oh, okay, that was that. Okay, yeah.
And that's the end
we get part
of the first episode. We go right to part 2, and we come back. That's when the Pam, Andy, and Daryl come back with the tree, and Daryl's daughter, and that's where he's like, "I'm Santa Claus. I'm classy Santa." It's like that. You don't look like Santa at all.
He's like, really.
We see that Kelly and Phyllis are confronting Holly about AJ. That's when Erin made the comment about maybe you're not in the position to shoo guys away.
Yeah,
but she
we find out about the ultimatum.
Yeah, if he doesn't commit, it's over. Jim walks in. He gets nailed again. Do you remember this one? This is the wig
with the wigs. That's a famous clip with all the different wigs.
All the different wigs. And he's I have
Stanley
wigs for everyone.
Hilarious.
The Stanley one. He nails him with more snowballs.
Just laughing.
And
as
Jim
Pam
tries
is
to get him back.
hilarious.
That's when he gets the lacrosse stick. While
Yeah.
do you remember? It was Toby. I think he was telling him there's someone at jury duty that looks
Yes.
exactly like
And
him.
he's like, I can't really talk. I can't
Right.
really catch up with you, Toby, right now. And he throws it. This pod cracked me up. I don't know if you noticed when they both get in trouble.
Yes. So yeah. The first, before they have the talking to, we see Michael trashing the Woody doll, and he throws.
Oh, right.
coffee on
Okay.
it.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's okay. I have all these things check marked.
Yep.
I made like a bullet list on my second viewing. Then we see Amy. I'm not Amy. Holly and Michael having to talk. I wrote Amy because that's her name. Having to talk with Jim and Dwight. Dwight talks about how he's going to sue Jim, and Holly had a great line about
this
isn't like you two.
Yeah, you two were best friends. So I always noticed Jim's face. Obviously, like Jim, is the famous,
the deadpan look. Yep,
the deadpan look at the camera. And I don't know if you noticed Dwight's look too.
He's
similar, like what? Like also what?
I was like, did Michael
it's funny
because I that face?
Yeah, no kidding. It's funny though. Remember the Christmas episode we talked about last year with the Dwight Christmas. Dwight was mad because Jim left because so they did. Dwight. Right. They do have kind of a friendship now.
And Michael says all this arguing. You know what it reminds him of? And he picks up this little toy taxi Matchbox car.
Oh yeah,
reminds him of his girlfriend Tara.
His girlfriend.
And Holly's like, I know you have a girlfriend. He goes, I do. She is. That's his answer. I do. She is. Like waiting for what she was going to ask. We talked about Phyllis already not really being impressed with Pam's comic book, and Holly finds the destroyed Woody, confronts the office about it.
Very mad.
Kevin wonders if Woody maybe came to life. And this is when Michael shows some great acting. He admits it's him. He's like, it's a joke. Maybe we could tell our children over one day. You can tell he's
like very, and then everybody's like, ooh.
Yeah. He's like, he said, I did it because of jealous feelings he still has. She's angry at him. And he's like, with the other guy, the other person you see him, I have no problem with a long distance relationship. I threw this whole stupid party for you. And I like that she goes to follow and Aaron says no, blocks him. Like protecting him.
That's great. But the whole office is looking at her like, this is our guy now. Yep. You know what I mean? Like he's our Papa Bear. And
Kevin said, oh no, she says it's not my fault. It's never your fault. He screams at her.
Oh, that's great.
So then that's when we see that Jim has a nice little gift. And he opens it up. I was like, there's no way this is definitely going to be a snowball. Opens it up. The snowball pops right into his face. Everyone loves it. They're laughing at his face. And I'm like, this is what you get, Jim. This is what you get. The party's starting and Toby loves being the center of attention. Everyone loves that. Everyone's impressed that he gets a free lunch at Jerry.
Oh, yeah. Especially Stanley. We know we hear Stanley's reasoning for always wanting to be on jury duty.
Yeah.
You get free food, air conditioning, you get to judge people.
I was on jury duty about a year ago. And yeah, we did get free lunch. No, actually, no, not every day, just a couple days. Damn it. When we were deliberating, it was worth it for the pizza. Daryl's daughter is bored. So Pam sets up a game for her in the warehouse that Andy kind of ruins. He tries.
He does. And the game is over minutes later.
It's like, okay. So then we see Angela show up with her state senator boyfriend. And Oscar gets one look at him. Yeah. He's like, he's really nice. He's got a nice, strong handshake. He's gay. Like he knows he gets
so that's the first one. That's the first time we realized that, I guess. Because that's the first time he just met Oscar.
Oh, wait.
About the state senator.
Oh, yes.
They get together.
See, I don't remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
I know the actor. He was on Heroes. That's what I remember him from. Still maybe around that time. It still was around. I don't know. So then Amy, I keep saying Amy. Holly's boyfriend shows up. AJ shows up.
Everybody's so mean to.
Everyone's like, oh, he's like, welcome, make yourself at home. And then we cut to Michael. And what does he say?
I wish I'm dead inside.
I'm dead inside.
But you know what? This is the first time Michael doesn't say something very rude to his face. I don't know if you realized in past episodes, he said something like, "Oh, what's your pant size?" or something. He's like 34, and he goes, "Oh yeah, you could do this, fatty." Like just shitty rags on him.
On AJ?
It is, yes.
Oh, say
every
okay.
time
I didn't realize.
until this,
I didn't remember he was on multiple times. I didn't know that.
yes. Oops. I'm gonna plug this bad boy. Yeah. And but this is the first time, and he's very, very gracious and
that's why he says
matured.
I'm dead inside.
Yeah.
He's not gracious.
I'm dead
He's not
inside.
mature. He's just dead inside.
Right.
So Daryl and his daughter, he brings her to the vending machine, and he thinks like, not great, but she is like blown away that they have all these vending machines. So they raid
a little Christmas montage.
Nice little, we get a montage. They raid the vending machines. They give them out as gifts. We see some gifts exchange. We see Michael cleaning off Woody.
Mm-hmm.
We see Jim gives Pam a nice. Jim's super jittery. Every light that goes off, he's looking around.
Yeah.
He gives Pam a bracelet while Pam gives Jim the comic book, which he loves. He loves it.
Yes.
And then we see Michael.
Michael's
This is
gonna leave.
my favorite part of Michael. Michael tries to leave.
So nice. Yeah.
Pam tracks him down, and he's like, "Well, be careful." When he's like, "Be careful," to
He's
her.
very right. Exactly.
Just
He's very
like-
protective.
Yep.
I like the whole Michael Pam dynamic, like a daughter.
And he's like, he's not in a good place. He tells the story of
The girl, the
of
woman who fell on black ice.
Yeah, and she was in a coma for the rest of
She's
her
in
life.
a coma for the rest of her life. Yeah, and her husband went every day until she died. And Pam says, "That's so sad." And he said, "Well, at least they get to be married or something."
Yeah, he
right?
said it with like he was
And
almost
starts
crying.
Oh, he was crying.
Yeah, yes. And then this is when Pam decides, she's like, I probably shouldn't say this, but she tells him about the ultimatum, tells him that, they're not in a good place. Just be patient. He's like, I could do that. And his whole demeanor turned
Changes.
around at that point.
Yep.
Inside the office, Jim tries to surrender to Dwight, who does not accept it. The only way he'd accept it is if he throws a snowball into Pam's face.
Which is funny because Pam is Dwight's best friend, described at one point.
That's right. And he's like, "You're a psychopath," but no surrender. We see a quick shot. Oh, this is so Michael can overhear, but he gives Kelly a gift, but that he said he bought at the mall, but it's literally the Saber laptop cover that everyone got. He tries to show a receipt from the mall. She's like, "How many number 9s did you order?" It's some receipt for some food place.
He's like, "Give me that." Yeah.
Yeah. But that's when he overhears Holly talking to AJ. And I love that AJ goes, "Is everyone here just mean?"
Yes. There's such jerks to them.
And he's like, "What happened to Woody?" And he covers it. She lies to him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a turning point because that's.
Yep. You see him smile at her like, "Oh, she didn't throw me under the bus."
Exactly. So him and Kelly, like Kelly looks surprised
even Kelly.
too.
Oh, Kelly loves anything gossip. She's all in. So then we cut. Michael's in his office, and Daryl's daughter brings in his favorite breakfast food, an apple pie, a vending machine apple pie.
I used to love those, by the way.
Oh my God, they were so good.
The frosting on them.
Oh, and he's like, "Hey, I think wasn't Santa supposed to be here?" So he decides to dress up as Santa, has the daughter on his lap, taking all these gift ideas, and you can see Holly notice him and give a little smile.
Yes. Yeah,
So
and
there's
that's right. That's before the end.
Yeah. And the episode ends with Jim and Pam leaving. They're the last ones to leave.
The haunting. Yeah.
They go to the parking lot, and it's filled with snowmen. I wrote it's like a horror movie. He basically tells Pam, "Save yourself," runs, and he starts fighting them off. This is basically the plot to The Quiet Place. So Jim starts fighting all the snowmen, wondering which one is Dwight, but none of them are Dwight because Dwight is watching from the roof.
Yeah.
And
what's his line?
His line is, "In the end, the greatest snowball isn't a snowball at all. It's fear. Merry Christmas." And that's how it ends.
Great Christmas episode.
For a two-parter, flies by. Like
it really does.
I'm like, wait, we're already at the end of the first episode?
I know. I agree. It helps that they're 22 minutes, but still,
Right.
it still was like boom, boom. When I watched it back to back, I'm like, wow, it's already says skip to the next one. So
Tremendous.
great show. Great show.
And it sets up really the beginning of the end for Michael Scott.
Yeah. Which, by the
on
way,
show.
watching the end episodes of Michael, it gets a little dusty in the room.
Yeah.
Not just for Michael.
Yeah. When he comes back for the wedding.
Yeah.
At the end, he's like, it's like seeing your kids, and then they get married. They marry each other.
And then he does. He in the last, was it the last? That was the last episode.
The last one was the wedding, right?
He has of course there's definitely that's what she said.
Yes, one more of them, and it's just weird because he doesn't have like they make him seem a little older, like he's not coloring his hair or it's just his hair went a little gray.
Right.
Like he's just more relaxed.
Did you ever see the last scene of Michael before he leaves, and when he gets with everybody, but he doesn't have time, and Pam, you remember this at the airport?
I definitely saw
Pam
it.
catches up, and it was funny because they had like a moment where
we don't hear what they say, right?
Steve Carell said something to her.
Oh,
like it was probably just as sad.
Yeah, right.
For Steve Carell because he was leaving and doing movies, whatever, and he said something to Fisher. What's her name?
Jenna Fisher.
Jenna Fisher. He says something to her, and they didn't tell anybody else.
Oh, that's awesome because you could see I remember that moment with them, and obviously the producers, weren't as angry as when that guy left MASH, and they're like, "Oh, he's helicopter crash, he's dead."
Yes.
Oh, he's dead. Coming back.
I didn't even watch that show, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is the saddest thing I've ever heard." And it was like he's off the show. Why are they killing him?
You want to leave? Well, fine. You ain't coming back.
I gotta watch that show. I heard good things. But
I did watch a Christmas episode of MASH.
Did you? You did MASH?
I did MASH. I think the first year, maybe first or second.
Was that the first show without a laugh track? Like,
it might have had a laugh track.
Really?
I am doing an episode coming up that I thought had a laugh track.
Any Get Smart Christmas?
I haven't done Get Smart yet, but there is a show coming that actually aired on Christmas Day that I found someone put up on a Google Drive folder. It's in great condition, but I was like, the laugh track isn't there. And then I looked it up. I said, oh, the show doesn't have a laugh track. That's my teaser. I'm not going to say what it is just yet. I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
But
good.
I think that's it. That's the 2 episodes. We nailed it.
Fantastic.
What's on the viewing schedule for you over the next remaining days of Christmas? And does it end on Christmas Day? I mean, 26th, you're not watching Christmas specials, are you?
No, we probably watching a little bit of Christmas movies. We may, do a Daddy's Home 2 or I was actually going to watch that movie Dave suggested that I showed the trailer to the kids. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thriller, but it looks like it could be pretty good.
Looks
Jason
pretty
Bateman
entertaining. That's how I get, Aiden isn't as into it. Like he wasn't watching Muppets Christmas Carol with Grace and I last night.
Shame. Public shaming on the podcast.
He has seen it, but he's just hasn't seen them as much.
The biggest movie, the biggest Christmas movie on Prime right now just came out on Prime. It had the biggest premiere ever. Red One is available now.
Jesus Christ!
I don't know if the kids
never watched that movie.
Okay, the kids aren't even interested in that one. But
no,
quite honestly, Dave did not like. Oh, sorry. Go. Yep.
I was going to say I always make the proclamation, which isn't 100% accurate, because I'll say The Rock seems so charismatic, but he's never made a good movie.
It's happened,
and my wife always says Jumanji, and the kids say Jumanji, and I'm like, that is entertaining. It's kind of entertaining, but he's got a shockingly bad.
Right. It's like he's got a formula.
Batting average.
Yeah. When he
freaking John Cena has more.
He might be up there. Yeah. That Alien Xmas. It's actually like stop motion animation. It's the guys who did that's the one I told you about that I think I sent you a trailer, but obviously you're not going to watch the trailer.
Yeah.
And Dave said he couldn't make it 5 minutes. I was like, damn it. It's that Christmas podcast I listen to, Advent Calendar House. one of the guys recommended it. They're like, oh wow, this reminded me of the old days. It was from 2020. John Favreau produced it.
All right.
And I was
maybe I'll try it.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't given it a try, but
maybe I'll try it. So we try to watch as many Christmas movies, obviously the regulars, and we'll watch those multiple times. The other night I was like, I don't think we've really watched Christmas Vacation, which is funny because we had it on a couple times, but I'm like, I'm just going to sit down and, and drink. I know that's surprising. And actually pay more attention. And then I literally just looked to see if Amenada's Christmas was available.
Is it? I don't even know. It should be on Disney.
It is on Prime.
I
think it's on Prime.
Yeah, some things are like the Jim Henson Company is not exactly the same as Muppets, and some things are over here, some things are over there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And Charlie Brown is on Apple TV, which I don't have, but it was free over the weekend.
Oh yeah, I think they air it for free, so you can.
So we made sure to get that. That's a classic.
I haven't watched any specials or any movies because I'm just watching sitcoms every day.
Shows.
So, but this it kind of gives me the same feeling. Some of it's corny, some of it's nostalgic, and I'm just like, it gets me into the Christmas mood. I will
definitely
probably
make sure you watch some movies.
Once we're on vacation, like starting this weekend, I think we'll have to get a few movies in there.
And Monday you'll be watching a movie.
And yes, now as I mentioned, or I may not have mentioned, Chris and I do another podcast called Fine Movies, Fine Spirits, available anywhere podcasts are found, and of course at fansnotexperts.com. And we just put out Home Alone the other day, so check that out. And this coming Monday, we're trying something new. It's going to be partly over Zoom, partly in person. We're going to be doing a live running commentary, a watch along of It's a Wonderful Life that then I need to turn around with under 24 hours, which I think I will because I'm not going to edit it at all. I'm just going to pop the Zoom right into the audio, into GarageBand and save it because it's going to be available
Christmas Eve.
On Christmas Eve. That's the kind of the tradition. We started it. The show started as It's a Wonderful podcast. It's a Wonderful Life podcast. It morphed into the movie podcast it is today. But every Christmas we go back and kind of celebrate It's a Wonderful Life. So this one will be a long episode, but we hope you guys can watch along as Chris and Dave do most of the talking. And I just say, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. And they remember
a lot of nodding.
Everything. Yes, a lot of nodding. So until then, Christopher, thank you again for joining the show. Are there any parting words?
Nope. Thank you for having me in full-fledged Christmas mode.
Awesome.
Happy to do this. Love The Office.
Back again
Love
to
Christmas sitcoms.
Do Christmas again in The Office again next year. Until then, I will be back tomorrow to do another episode. I have either there's two 80s shows, and there's one show that I think is from the 50s in black and white that I'm definitely doing. I'm not sure which one I'm doing tomorrow yet, but stick around and find out. Until then, you can find me on Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, Mastodon.social, and Twitter at Geek Mentality. The Facebook page is Fans Not Experts. The YouTube channel is Fans Not Experts, and the website is fansnotexperts.com. Say goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye, Chris.
Nailed it. Until tomorrow, my friends. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And here is my theme song. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time. And I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans Not Experts.